What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are Traditional Fans with Opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. From Overshadowed to Overpowered, Episode 4. So in this one, F-Doll's 18, so he heads towards the Magic Academy. Now he comes across an A-rank adventurer named Edwards the Mad Flame, who's like enslaved a girl named Anastasia. She's like a demon girl, whatever. Now, the crest isn't permanent, so he tends to use her as a sex slave, but he can't do anything till the crest is permanent, or else if he impregnates her, it could affect the slave crest, whatever. So he's waiting till it's permanent before doing anything to her. So when the orc attacks, and then Edward says it's a B rank monster, so he should be able to handle it easily. But then orc berserker arrives, and Edward is like, oh crap, I can't beat this. So he decides to trap all civilians so that the orc can kill them in order to protect his own reputation. Eftol frees all the people very easily, then kills the orc, and he forces Edwards to basically turn himself in for attempted murder, and then free Anastasia because criminals can't own slaves. Now, Anastasia still has a slave crest, so anyone can now claim her, and she asked for Eftol to be her master so she won't end up with someone worse. So Eftol agrees, basically, I guess, until they can figure out how to remove the slave crest. And then she reveals that she's actually part of the demon royal family, and is a distant relative of Merlin, who was like Eftol's adopted daughter in his past life, and is the current headmistress of the Magic Academy. So yeah, so Eftol agrees to have her accompany them. Now, once they get to the city where the academy's at, Eftol takes Anastasia to eat dinner, but people, a lot of it's an elite restaurant, so like a lot of people look down on Anastasia because she's a slave. So but he's able to use the money he has, which is a lot, to basically make sure that Anastasia is treated with respect, and he tries to help her break out of her slave habits. And then I guess he buys her some new clothes after, because like the clothing she had on left her very exposed. Since her magic potentials, Eftol encourages Anastasia to take the entrance exam for the Magic Academy. So then, the two of them register, and the first stage is the Battle Royale, which is what I guess the next episode's gonna deal with. So yeah, I like this. Like, it was just funny to see Anastasia try to talk with Eftal. I mean, Eftal trying to deal with it because Anastasia's just lived her whole life as a slave. Well, she was basically, I guess, born it or whatever, because her family's been enslaved since they were defeated by humans long ago. So yeah. Now I don't know how the slave thing's gonna play a role in a magic academy. I'm sure that will be discussed. I have not read the Sorcerer Tale, so I don't know exactly how that's dealt with. But I'm sure that's gonna be a topic of discussion amongst characters. So yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Looking forward to the next one. The Exiled Heavy Knight knows how to game the system. Episode 3. So in this episode, so the promotion quest starts. So and quest overseer Gotan's pissed at Elimus being there because Elimus is a heavy knight, but Elimus tries to be polite. Now Teal the red mage, who's another examine, tries to mock Elimus, but Elimus ignores him. Now Gotan explains the cemetery they're at is overrun by ghouls and a level 30 ghoul head. He says he'll deal with them while they hound the ghoul. He says he'll hound the ghoul head while everyone else handles the ghouls. Now most examinees they're scared. They have Teal and Paul. They're arrogant. Gotan's clearless. So there's a high possibility that a lot of them are gonna die. Now Elimus asks for more instructions, and Gotan, agrees grudgingly, but Teal interrupts and claims cowards can hide behind them. Now ghouls appear, and Gotan, Teal, and Paul try to get towards the ghoul head. Elimus rallies the other examinees to strategize how to deal with the ghouls, and Elimus kills most of them, and then he helps the examinees kill some of the other ones. And so Elimus reaches level 16. Now Teal and Paul panic, so they're unable to draw ghouls away from Gotan. It allows for a ghoul head to heal by eating other ghouls. So then the the ghoul head evolves from level 30 to a level 40 Mad Heather. So yeah, that's gonna be a problem. So yeah, I like this episode. The animation's not as jarring in this as in the first two. Like, it may be due to the setting. It's all in the cemetery, so a lot of the jarring animation it's not gonna show up. Probably 'cause it's night, so it's a darker shade, like darker color. So it's probably not gonna be as noticeable. So it's not as bad. I mean, if they did actually improve it, that's fine. Thankfully, because the 3D animation for the background is freaking retarded. It is so dumb. But yeah, I like this episode. Like the combat. Interesting how they handled this Mad Heather. Looking forward to the next episode. Mebius Dust, episode 2. So in this episode, Arky's trying to figure out his ability, and everyone else is preparing for the next game, which is ends up being a series of races. So throughout this whole episode, Arky's trying to figure out his power, which is revealed to be some foresight, so you predict the future or whatever. Then so yeah, so you see everyone, but Arcus team they lose, so they lose a game, so they're kind of discouraged a little bit. But I guess there's a lot of sports type thing involved, so of course losing's going to be involved. Unless it's a full out tournament type thing where you lose once you're out, so you have to make it to the full tournament, but whatever. So then there's a group called Diabolicos that's about to make a move. We'll see what happens with them, what kind of threat they are. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting episode. Interested in seeing how all this goes with all these factions. We'll see how this series goes. I mean, it's a decent show. It's not really one, some all-time great thing, but it's decent. It's whatever. So yeah, I like this episode. Looking forward to the next one.
And that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you can put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.